Hi, hello. My name is Ondrej. I'm an architect from an architectural studio working in Czech Republic and London. And being here on this module called EU Policy and Integration, it's very interesting for me because as an architect, I don't see or I don't understand the laws and details of EU policies and integrations. But what I would like to tell maybe to the part of audience who have the same handicap as me is to show this really interesting tool founded by European Union. It's called European Bauhaus, and it's for me one of the most comprehensive initiatives showing actually how these ideas of most recent green transition and new policies related to environment can be implemented, and it's kind of pretty clear. I'm working in a studio of 60 architects. We are working on projects of larger scales. We also have a recent experience here in Tirana. And with these large-scale projects, we usually encounter like different regulations and laws and parameters done by European Union. And we also sense this kind of mood from private clients and investors that they are waiting for new regulations and laws to come. And this is something that we might have in common, that we don't know how these regulations are going to look like, how they are going to change the market. Particularly, I'm talking about Green Deal, green transition, and ESG. And this tool, New European Bauhaus, was set by Ms. van der Leyen as an initiative to practice or to enable this green transition in a very comprehensive way. The basic ideas of NEP, or actually the basic claim, is beautiful, sustainable together, which are very simple words. And it means that with every project, there should be supported these three basic parameters. It's quality of aesthetics, it's environmental responsibility, and it's inclusion, meaning working with communities and talking to the neighbors and to the inhabitants. These three parameters have different levels of ambitions. The highest levels are, let's say, kind of idealistic, but there is like maybe nothing too idealistic. It's like just to see where all the regulations are heading in the future. I can show it on or explain it on one example. It's environmental responsibility. First level, if you want to consider your project green or in compliance with European green policies, the basic level is considering some repurpose of the original buildings. It's the example on the right side. It's the repurpose of original office building in New York. The second level is to close the loop, to be neutral regarding the carbon footprint. But the third level of this ambition, of this environmental responsibility, can be understood as regenerative. This means bringing back to the environment that you took from it. And with all these three principles, the levels of ambitions work the same. It's almost impossible to reach the third one. I don't think it's possible with large-scale projects, but it's good to see where the ambitions are heading for the future, and maybe in 10 years this will be something that we would really need to consider. With these levels and ambitions, the New European Bauhaus is setting three different working principles. First is a participatory process, which is one of the most important things, meaning that a community is actually one of the most important elements with every project, not regarding, like basically for every possible scale, from small scale to really large scale. I will then show it on the examples. Then it's multi-level management, that it actually should work through many levels of the governance. This is an example of transition to future ESG policies. and it's a transdisciplinary approach, meaning a large number of stakeholders set in the beginning of every project. And here I put down some similarities with the future or current EU regulations. It's something that we as architects have to consider with every project. And I think that if we see these ideas as something natural, then the transition to those new regulations would be much easier. I figured out that actually one project from Albania was already communicated through the new European Bauhaus. This initiative works as it has different levels. It has some possibility to receive an award. It has possibility to receive some funding. And actually, Eastern, Southern European projects are the most valuable ones within this initiative. This is the example I found on in the database of New European Bauhaus. It's here from Tirana, called Tech Bunkeri. And with these 3 basic principles, which were mentioned in the beginning, here it's illustrated how this project meets the ideas of New European Bauhaus. It's a small-scale project, very nice one. There is mentioned that it's self-initiated cultural space, that it was constructed by volunteers. This includes this inclusivity aspect, constructed using reused, donated, or second-hand materials. This is circular economy and sustainability, and it's promoted as a haven for minority groups. This also covers this inclusivity topic, and it's supported by artist intervention, which could cover the aesthetics. And those 3 basic principles, very simple, are illustrated in this project, which is very nice, and it's already communicated within the European Union. I would then like to show a few principles or a few examples of our projects, and with every project through different scales, we try to have these 3 basic principles in mind. And I think then when these new regulations would be something real and it will happen, ESG for example, that for the studio it would be pretty easy. This is an example also communicated through the New European Bauhaus. It's a Mendel's greenhouse. It's a pavilion. The project was initiated by a local monastery. Its purpose is to create a space for the community and for the dialogue between the monastery and public. And also it's related to Johann Gregor Mendel, monk and a really famous scientist who invented actually the laws of heredity, genetics. So it supports also the dialogue between the church and the public, or the faith and the science. This is some kind of like this idea of inclusivity and communication. The project is like ultimately versatile space, completely empty, that can serve basically any possible purpose. Meetings, gatherings, lectures, and open to everyone. Within the European Bauhaus, I'm not advertising this as something that is the only possible way and that it's communicated correctly, because most projects that are in the database of European Bauhaus are small scale, and this is something that I think could be done better. That these 3 principles can be adapted also in really large-scale projects. And for every project, these 3 principles are actually beneficial. This is an example of currently under construction residential development in Prague. And with this development, there were several steps. Before we started with the design, there was a process of intensive public participation, talking through several meetings with, I think, 70 figureheads from the neighborhood. There was high ambition of the environmental solution, and the result is something from our perspective and in our country extraordinary. Here is the example of the public participation. You can see pictures of 70 people divided into groups and talking about what do they want in the new neighborhood. And based on these results, we figured out that we need to propose a new square, a new public space, and we already had ideas from the existing community about the program of the new spaces, which was then later implemented to the project. So this is the inclusivity parameter. The sustainability parameter here was kind of experimentary. When we came to the site, it was an original brownfield, and with this huge amount of bricks, we wanted to somehow reuse this material. That's why, together with the client, we proposed to use it as a filling in the concrete. We invented a completely new hybrid material, which is then used for the structure of the new buildings and the facades and the interior, and it provides the complex with this kind of like new texture and the heritage, also the heritage of the former brownfield. Another example is a very recent one. It's a winning proposal for the new school in Czech Republic for 900 kids. And how it tackles these principles of New European Bauhaus is the outcome of actually collaborative dialogue between 19 small villages that have like almost 1,000 kids that like a lacking capacity of the school in. So this reflects kind of a multi-level participation. Those 19 villages managed to actually agree on this competition, on this brief, and that they want this school and started the process. It is reflecting low carbon material solution. It combines hybrid construction of prefabricated concrete and use of wood. And together with like a multidisciplinary team of schooling experts, we proposed a completely new learning scheme in Czech Republic. We were successful with this, and this kind of new learning landscape, including green atriums and actually deleting the boundaries between the classrooms and the hallways, is creating some new organizational scheme of the school. And this is the last example. I really wanted like to encourage the architects here maybe, or the groups that are working on projects that might be presented within this initiative to do so, because the visibility within European Bauhaus is something important. And I think that not only small-scale projects, which are amazing, but also large-scale projects can be included into this dialogue for the future.